We talked about this, interesting, we talked about this last show, the Hall of Fame. You know, we had this conversation a couple of times. I used the wrong words, I said bitter, but really I felt like you feel some type of way. Pro Football Hall of Fame makes an announcement, the 25 semi-finalists for the class of 2021. Your name's on that.
What you want me to say, bro? I'm good. I've always been good, man. Come on, bro.
Can we
Hey,
get some?
I like it.
We had to fight to get a meal. Yeah, wrongfully accused. We had to fight to get appeals. That's why we right to get a deal. He on the team, he gotta eat, you know. Despite the skills, keep it riding for the fam. You gotta light the wheels straight up. But in the past bad, work up in the trash bag. I'll pass a lot to take the test before I pass class. Yeah, and my family needed bread. I had to come correct. That's why I keep airing it out like I just passed gas.
Free game, OG. You feel better now?
How's it feel?
I mean, with the second year, I've been semi-finalist for 2 years. I mean, I can't downplay it. It's a good feeling, right? This is where I want to be. I feel good more so by being the only running back this year, you know, in the semi-finalist conversation. I need to get in the finalist conversation, so I need to go through this door to the next door to get in the room where the finalists are, the top 15. That way, they do a deeper dive on what your career numbers really were, and then the guys started paying attention. Your local media selector, you know, they get an opportunity to state their case. And at that particular point, my guy who's presenting me, you know, I pray and I hope that he has some stuff that, you know, maybe I hadn't talked about through the media. So it is what it is at this point, man. I can't downplay it. I'm excited about it. You know what I'm saying? It's an honor and a privilege, but I think I should have been in the conversation for a while.
Why is this so important to you though, Fred? I know it's the Hall of Fame, but why do you feel like this completes you?
It doesn't complete me. You know what completed me was, and I've said it on this show numerous times, the competing. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like competing. Every day I compete for my kids' love, you know what I'm saying? You know, I compete for just everybody to see who I am naturally, you know what I'm saying? On the surface, who Fred really is. This doesn't define me, but when I look at where they're trying to place me, you know, everybody who decides my fate, my numbers should decide my fate. You know, looking at guys that are already in the NFL Hall of Fame, put my numbers up against those guys and what they've done versus what I've done. It should be an easy conversation. So I guess from that standpoint, that's why it's important to me, you know, so they don't miss out on what I've done in my career. You know, in the midst of having played in a small market, I didn't get all of the Pro Bowl nods. I think that Pro Bowl is just a dog and pony show. It don't mean nothing to me, right? But I think my numbers speak for itself. This isn't the end of the world for me. It doesn't dictate who I am as a person, but I just think I belong in that conversation.
Fred, you had more rushing yards than O.J. Simpson, more rushing TDs than Thurman Thomas was a dog, and your yards per rush, 4.6, was more than Sweetness, Walter Payton. I mean, a lot of times we get on the show and we had this discussion a couple times, and I love having the conversation because you get really, hyped about it. But now when you look into the numbers, you do the research.
Right.
I mean, your numbers are right there with the best of the best, bro.
But to me, Hall of Famers are the players of that generation. I mean, all of y'all were great players of your era, but we're talking about a decade span.
Name the top running backs of my generation. I came in 98. From 98 till now, that's 22 years. Name the top guys. I'm gonna take out.
Bettis, was he? Well,
Bettis, we cross boards. I'm gonna take out for you the guys that are already in there. Jerome Bettis, Edgerrin James.
Yeah, I mean.
Then Terrell Davis. You take those three guys out. LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Then let's talk about everybody else. I can put my numbers up against everybody else's number, but when you take the deep dive that I was talking about, let's talk about the division that I was in. I had to face Ray Lewis twice a year for 5 years. right? I had to face the Pittsburgh Steelers twice a year for 5 years. Tennessee Titans, they were a team that went to the Super Bowl in '99, my second year. I faced them twice a year, and that's the old AFC Central. A few other things, a few other notables, but when I back out all of the running backs that played in the last 2 decades, when you put my numbers up versus their numbers, or versus the guys that I played against, the Derrick Brooks of the world, the Warren Sapps of the world, these are guys that are Pro Bowlers, the Ed Reeds, of the world, the Troy Polamalu's, Pittsburgh. Back it out and look at what I did versus these guys, their teams. My numbers speak for themselves. I didn't just average 60 yards a game versus these teams. I had my 150s, my 200 yarders. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when the selectors dig deep and look at it.
Do you feel heard?
Do I feel heard?
Do you feel heard?
You got to go on a media campaign. That's part of this.
But you know what's crazy is the first time I heard this conversation around Fred T in the Hall of Fame was on his social media. Why does he, and you're in the media, why does Fred got to go on his own campaign?
I shouldn't have to, but if you're not first ballot, and this is what you'll learn, when you come up, and I text you this, Megatron is on the list this year, and I'm not downplaying Megatron. He was a dog, right? But when you look at numbers, your number's better than his numbers. Now, I don't know if you're going to get a few points because you played longer, but your numbers are what they are, right? So if you're not first ballot, it's a campaign situation. Terrell Davis, his career is short. He had to go out and campaign. He's a part of the media. I've also heard that if you're a part of the media, look at Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor he's a good player. Was he first ballot?
No, he was not. He was not first ballot.
JT wasn't
if Michael Strahan was not first ballot, JT was not first ballot.
JT wasn't first ballot, but JT was a good player.
And you cover the Dolphins.
I'm always uncomfortable with Hall of Fame, primarily because of who is deciding, who is in that room making that decision.
That's his point.
What I tell you?
I've done a look into it, and a lot of them are my peers, and some of them don't even cover the league anymore.
When they say, all right, throw the criteria against the board, let's see what stick. If you was a dog and you got former players that you went at it with, on occasions to vouch for that, if these former players were Hall of Fame guys, if they say you was a dog, I think that should be some points.
Well, that
shouldn't decide everything.
But that's what he says every time we talk about the Hall of Fame. He's like, who's voting?
The people who are voting now, and they're working to change that, but a lot of people who are voting now do not reflect this generation of athletes and do not know, not even this generation, your generation. They couldn't even understand this generation because I can't even understand this generation.
All I know is if the modern era that they talk about started in 1970, we can back out 10 notable guys that my numbers are better than.
The reason I think, like Calvin Johnson right now, he was the receiver of a generation.
Correct.
He had a short lifespan in the NFL because he wanted to smoke weed and didn't want to.
No. I think he did unbelievable shit that
so is he
the
first
people
ballot?
that are reporting has never seen.
Yeah.
He was Megatron.
Yeah.
They named him Megatron, bro.
And then
so is he first ballot?
I think because he quit, they'll punish him. That's my personal opinion.
You throw him in the category on that list.
Yeah.
And previous list, Terrell Davis, because he had a shortened career, but he was a dog. But we didn't get a chance to see it.
He had a
Tony
short career
Baselli
because
has
of
a
injury.
lineman. Tony Baselli was a beast. He blocked for me. But the shortened careers, they've been punished.
That's correct.
All right, so now you're talking about punishing. I just find it interesting. Our resident reporter, Omar Kelly, been on the beat for 14 years. I always find the dynamic between player and media intriguing. What's your perspective? What's your perspective on that relationship with the player?
Well, to me, it's about developing relationships, as in everything. And you have to develop a chemistry and a trust. I've had relationships with players over the years that, as you said, started, I didn't even know.
Didn't know?
No, I didn't know we started with a beat.
Oh, how you know? You are one of the toughest on the beat. Like, you have a bad game, covering you. Oh, no, that ain't one game. You do your work. I admit that. He gonna look at 3-4 games in a row, And if you stinking it up, he gonna be like, yo, this dude trash. But then you gotta see him the next day in the locker room. A lot of people don't understand that. So when they see players wilding out or flipping out in front of the camera and the presser, or they're dodging questions, they don't understand that dynamic that you got a job to do.
That's right.
Right? You gotta call it how it is.
I look at my job as I grew up watching, following South Florida sports, so clearly I love the Miami Dolphins. Now, because I cover the Miami Dolphins, I can't be a fanboy and a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I have to hold them accountable to the fans that were like me, who got questions and answers and, why Brandon Marshall doesn't have as many touchdowns? Because that was their criticism of you in the first season. Oh, he dropped all these touchdowns. Yeah. And I'm like, if he had an accurate quarterback who could throw the ball, maybe he would catch more touchdowns. But anyway, when they traded for you, I felt like it violated one of Parcells' rules. Don't give up big money and draft picks. Mm-hmm. Okay, but he violated a rule because he wanted you and felt like you were a good piece for him. And I believe you were a good piece for them.
So you saying he wasn't a good piece?
No.
Or he wasn't worthy of what they were offering?
No, he was worth what he was being paid. He was worth, and he took pressure off people who couldn't handle the pressure. And then the pressure got put on his shoulders. And Brandon, he probably couldn't handle that pressure a little bit, just a little bit.
So how the beef kick off though?
No, it wasn't that.
That's what I'm gonna instigate this shit. How the beef kick off? That's what I want to know.
I mean, because when you're young as a player, you take things personal.
Yeah.
So that first career, I come from the first 4 years of my career. It wasn't a good situation. We were running a Wildcat. We had Ricky Williams, Ronnie Brown, and I wasn't getting targeted. And there was a lot of talk. Big wide receiver just got paid. So obviously I'm the center of attention a lot of times. So Omar, he would literally say like, yeah, we paying this dude X amount of dollars a year.
Right.
And he ain't doing nothing.
Right.
So just him doing his job, I took it personal. He's doing his job. It's business for him. It's personal for me. You know what I'm saying? You talking about like my game. You're talking about my livelihood. This ain't business. This is personal. So I had to learn that and mature and start realizing that was all a game. And that's how me and O started. And then what's crazy is, and we can talk about this later, when I was at McLean Hospital for 3 months in the outpatient program, he was right beside me. And he was covering the whole thing, but that's a whole nother story. So it's interesting how our relationship went from, for me, more like adversarial to a dude that covered me at my lowest point in my life.
See, and I'm glad you said that, which is a good segue into what I think the young guys need to hear. I found out later in my career that, life is all about relationships. I think the younger players need to understand the NFL is a business. Everybody that's covering the NFL has a job to do. You as a player, you have a job to do. The coaches have a job to do. The training staff, they all have a job to do. But a young guy, not myself, because I was never a prima donna, right? And I didn't feel I needed all that extra attention. But you have a lot of guys that do, and they feel like, man, I made it to the NFL. This is what you're supposed to do for me. You're supposed to service me. I don't give a what you say. You service me. You're beneath me as a reporter. I make millions of dollars. You can't tell me shit, right?
And I can't criticize your game either.
Right, you can't criticize me because I'm that guy. But young guys need to understand these people got a job to do. The reason the NFL is as lucrative as it is, you look at the TV deals, right? You look at the media. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what pushes the sport forward. 100%. This is what allows the fans to form opinions. That's the game. But they don't know that.
We don't know the game.
You didn't care about that.
But it's not, and that's in any industry. So whether it's sports, it's entertainment, it's media, it's business, there's a game. You have to be diplomatic in how you approach things. For me, it was all personal. It wasn't business. It took me falling down over and over again to finally realize how massive this business is.
Right.
I think about just my time in Denver. Real quick story. I felt like I outplayed my contract. Josh McDaniels came in, first year head coach. He's like, everybody has to prove it to me. I walk into his office sitting down, I'm like, look, I ain't taking the field until I get paid. That was my whole approach. Anyways, I'm going through this back and forth with the organization, and when we talk about the game, I remember my agent, Kennard McGuire, he flew up to Denver, and he sat me down, and he said, Brandon, shut your mouth. He said, you don't got your FU money yet. That's what he said to me.
Oh.
He said, Brandon, shut your mouth. And he said, you don't have your FU money yet. That's what he said. And the way he said it, I was like, dang, like this is a real game. And to your point, Fred, the younger players, you really have to understand how massive of an opportunity you have and how big of a business this is. This is deep. It's lightweight mafia.
No, it is. And here's the thing that I always struggle with players, because I've seen different generations of players. Now, I've covered the league for 14 years. When players come in, they don't know what they don't know. They don't know that this is a business. It ain't team. It ain't, oh, we're going to do this for the team, all 53. No, there's no teams. There's 53 individual little businesses.
Yeah.
And you got to look out for your business.
I love that.
And you got to market yourself. That's why I respect Chad. Chad's career is probably one of the careers that I respect the most, because you know why? Chad marketed Chad. Chad did Chad. Chad promoted Chad. Chad entertained people. Chad, you know, Chad needs to be in the Hall of Fame from he revolutionized how to market yourself as a player to the masses and entertain people, which is what the game is about.
Let Channing hear that. Channing gonna say Ocho was a distraction.
He was a distraction.
But I say he's a trendsetter. Look at what's going on today.
Listen,
I would love playing with him, but he was a distraction. 100%.
No. What he did was he took the attention off everything else that they could talk about, the struggles, Cincinnati struggles stopping the run, or Cincinnati struggles covering this receiver.
All right, so let me ask you this question. Do you feel like you made that market?
No, the market was there before, in general, but I made the market a little bigger than what it was, is just as far as bringing attention to it, bringing eyes and the spotlight to Cincinnati in general. Obviously, we had one winning season, 2005.
Yeah.
At that, but the eyes were still on Cincinnati regardless, because what's going to happen next? What's going to go on next?
So you made the market. It's okay. It's okay to say you made the market.
I don't want to say I made
be
the market.
So
The market was a market before I got there.
Yeah, but it wasn't no market. It was,
It was a small market, and I made the most of it.
Hey, on some real shit, I wish I had that in me that he had in him. I would have brought that to Jacksonville. I needed to bring that to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was in me. I just never tapped into it. I just never done that. I wish I would have, because that's strategic.
But it wouldn't have felt, because that's not you though.
It's not. I don't know if that's you. That's
not
No,
you.
no. It's not me. But for purposes of saying, and it's hard to fake shit. I mean, I ain't never been that tight. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard, bro. But I'm saying, we talk about the Hall of Fame now. Who knows what the would happen?
Yeah. Oh, what we got, Chef?
Lobster and crab bisque in a bread bowl.
And you got the
Lump crab.
The lump crab. Ooh.
And then the top of the bread is garlic bread. You can kind of like dip it if you want.
Chef,
Yes.
you on
sir.
Twitter too?
No.
You might want to make
You
one.
shy. You shy. You ain't on Twitter?
I need to make a Twitter.
Yep.
I think you shy.
I'm very shy, and this is different for me.
Yeah, and now there's thousands of people, you know, watching our show, following you, watching you. What would you say, like, is that one thing you do to overcome that shyness? Because, you know, things taking off for you now.
Well, normally I'm used to being behind the scenes, and now that I'm in front of the camera and I'm reading all the comments and how I'm inspiring people, so that kind of like gets me going and helps me to become a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I'm working on it though.
People hearing your story, even those little sound bites you give us once a show, inspires them.
Absolutely.
And when you seeing that inspires you to keep going.
Yes. It helps me a lot to see how many people I inspire and touch. Are you enjoying it, O?
Woo.
It's good. It's actually the best bisque I have ever
yeah.
had. And I'm a real bisque snob. If it's too creamy, I'll be like, no, take it back.
No, take it back.
In terms of relationships in the chef game, how important are those to developing referrals and getting more work?
For me, a private chef, what I do is basically what I did at home. Your integrity, you need to just be professional.
Ooh,
and basically see and don't see. You know what I mean? And just, I mean, with Brandon, I kind of automatically became family.
Yeah. Thanks, Chef. This is
You're
amazing. Your
welcome.
outfit is
Enjoy.
dope.
Thank you.
Oh, those are Chanel boots.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Fancy.
Since we're on the topic of relationships, never mind.
You stupid. You stupid. Thanks, Chef. This
You're
is
welcome.
amazing.
It's crazy.
That's good.
No, y'all, because I ain't been able to talk yet.
Why not?
You know, Hall of Fame again.
Yeah,
We know how I feel. The relationships, I was cool with everybody because I didn't give a fuck what they said about me.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Well, that's interesting that you said that. I'm actually listening to a series of speeches. It's called How to Become a No Limit Person. And one of like the core principles in there is like, others' opinions that shouldn't matter.
Right.
Like you really live that way.
He did.
Because basically what it says is, it's all about like controlling your emotions and how to not take things personal. It starts off from a psychology standpoint, but it really just talks about so much that we all can use in every aspect of our life. So for you, that comes natural, or you had to work on just not caring what people think? Because we live in this age now, everything matters, social media, I'm posting this for somebody else.
This era is so sensitive.
It is.
Everything. And I think it is what it is, my I don't give a fuck attitude and not caring how other people feel about me has something to do with my upbringing, my surroundings, the environment I grew up in. If for some reason, everyone that comes from my era or area, for that matter, really doesn't give a fuck about what other people think.
Because where you from and what you came
Basically.
through. I know.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And I
you're
think
not supposed to be here.
right.
So
At all.
why would you care what
Right.
anybody thinks about what you do now that you're here?
I mean, I think over the years, dealing with mom, grandma, and it built up a certain callous, in a sense, especially for those who don't know my mom. If you ever seen us interact, just in general, you'd understand why I am the way I am.
What do you mean? I never seen you guys, so how do y'all interact?
It's always been a tough love kind of thing, like really tough. Really
Hurt tough on you.
Yeah, the way just the interaction is not like your typical mother, son, the way things should be carried out.
Yeah.
I think because of that interaction over the years to where I became numb to the way she was, it made it so much easier to the outside. Who are you? You know what I got to deal with at home?
Yeah. But you know that's not natural for a lot of people. You know, I would say I would go this far. 97% of the people walking this earth care about what other people think.
But why?
They're obsessed with it. And it's
But
particularly
why?
this
How did
generation.
it affect you? How did it affect you in general? Think about it.
Think about this generation. Y'all are not part of this generation. Y'all are part of the YouTube era of you putting up your highlights and people, you know, and people gravitating and making offers to you, or trying to holler at girls off Instagram or Twitter or, you know, or Snapchat. And it's all look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know what somebody taught me about wide receiver position? Because I always didn't understand the dynamics of a mindset. I relate to wide receivers better than I do any other position.
Yeah.
And I never understood why it was. And then my mentor explained to me, it's like a wide receiver, they're on the field, and the only time they get a ball is if they go like this. If they like, look at me, hey, I'm open. Look at me. What's up? Throw me the ball. Because the quarterback touches the ball all the time. The running back gets the ball 20 times a game. You got to get people's attention. So that mentality carries over into your everyday existence.
It didn't for him. It definitely did for me. You feel like
I got the ball.
Do you feel like, no, I'm saying, I'm just talking about overall, do you care about people's opinion? Like, I mean, it could be something as simple as, oh, what I wear, how are people going to relate to this feel, you know, anything. If I post this, am I saying the wrong thing? That made me look bad, let me take that down.
When
do
I
you
was
care
younger-
about others' opinions?
When I was younger, I did. And I realized that I set the tone. People are going to respond based on what I do, no matter what I do. So you have to look at it you have to take a step back and realize that the way I handle life, and it's crazy, You know how you can watch a movie, right? And you can watch a movie and you can say, oh, this, why the f they not running? Here come Jason. Why they not running? Like, what's going on?
Why they
Jason
always tripping?
Right. So now in life, I tell people all the time, you have to present life as if, you know, you're watching a movie. You know what's going on. You've already seen it. Put it on the screen. Take a step back. That's how you gather your thoughts. You feel me? And then now you're gonna jot down whatever you need to jot down and make your moves based on what you expect the ending to be.
So you're saying you're painting the picture for you. I'm writing my own movie.
I write my own. So I don't give a damn what nobody say. You feel me? So now I've seen, I can anticipate what they're gonna say, but I don't care what they say at the end of it.
So what is that movie? So what is that? What are you saying?
I can do something and get a response because I'm playing chess. When you learn how to play chess and not checkers, then you feel like you're winning every step of the way because you've already made the move in your head. You feel me? So I don't really care what people say about me. For me, I've learned to not take things so personal. Everything for me going forward is all business. And I think a lot of other people should think that way. You have to respect the relationships, respect the personal side of it, but also understand that business is business. And like Belichick used to tell us in New England, do business as business is being done. More people need to understand that.
I don't understand that.
You don't understand that? All right. Belichick would say, do business as business is being done. They've also been called, what is it called?
Spygate.
Spygate. It ain't cheating until you get caught. if you not like that, bruh. But do business as business is being done. If the ref ain't seeing it, keep doing it. You get caught, now you the fool. You're a moron in his books. You know what I'm saying? Let's find a way to manipulate the rules.
Okay.
And that's life. You getting around taxes. Taxes, they got a guideline, but you're gonna find a way to manipulate the taxes.
How much he paid? $700?
Do business. Everybody should do business as business is being done. Ain't nothing wrong with it. If you can skate the line, bro. That's really what he's saying.
I don't know about that one.
Come on, dog.
I'm done skating the line.
You don't agree?
What you mean?
Just in general, I'm done skating the line.
He living
That
straight
was
and
always
narrow.
a mentality though, right?
Oh, I'm talking about in other areas of life, you know? Maybe not getting the is why I had never found happiness in other areas.
Yeah.
Now I give a not cheating anymore. You know, I can't do that no more. That's why I look like that. You feel me? I gotta stop doing something else or change in order to get what I want.
I say do business.
Maybe the end result.
I didn't say do personal.
This is business.
What you trying to get?
Happiness.
Dude, how are you not happy? How are you not happy, Chad?
Or I was happy when I was playing. I'm done now. I'm just reflecting on being married now, you know? Let me cross my legs. Huh?
So hold
I'm
on.
trying to get what you have.
Because you're not married.
What does Omar have?
Happiness. Have you seen him and his wife? Like it just
They
shouldn't blossom.
got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
I want to do
I
that.
felt the baby kick yesterday. Yeah.
It just I wanna have that. How long y'all been married?
A year?
That's it?
Yeah.
How long y'all been together?
5 years?
See, I want to be able to say that. How long you and Meezy been married?
10 years.
I'm eating my soup.
Okay, I like soup too. But I want to be able to say that. You know, I should have been able to say that by now, but I haven't because of the way I do things, because I was skating the line.
I'm listening to Ocho, man.
Hey,
run the show, bro.
listen,
We running
man.
the show.
You call it skating the line? I'm done skating the line.
She the one?
Yeah. Listen,
You would.
I ain't bullshitting, bro.
Yeah.
I was looking at rings of it. Is 15 carats too much?
Yeah, that's too much. 15
Wait.
carats?
It is?
Yeah, bro, you need to be at for you, what they say what, 10%
10% of what though?
of your salary.
Okay.
That's like
yeah.
a boat. Look.
Wait, y'all gotta understand, when we talk about salary now, I make my money different, right? So I'm scamming, right? Listen, no, this is serious now. Like, if Trump could do it, I could do it. I have loopholes. I know people.
Yeah.
So I get my money a different way. I'm not taxed. So like 15 carats to you might be a lot, but the way the money is coming in, you know, I can tell y'all. We family, right? The people at
You
home.
tell me.
Listen, I'm a mule for the cartel. I'm protected. And I can say this, so nobody can bother me. So the money I'm making now is a little different. I know you guys might laugh, but I'm dead serious.
Bruh, first of all, I don't care how much money. Like, yeah, I
That's
mean,
too much?
if you making that type of money, you 15 carats.
Is it okay?
15 carats way too much. You should be looking
Why
at.
does she need 15 carats?
No,
Why?
not 15 carats like this, bro.
Right.
No, I think a good old 6.
6?
That's a lot too.
6?
Yeah, maybe 4. I'm telling
man, you have to understand this individual now is a representation of me. So I just felt that
She
was
might
right.
be mad at me right now, bro, but you got 4. A 4-piece is good.
But you a cubic zirconia.
Anytime I purchase for a woman, it's always real.
Okay.
Ooh.
Always. In the past, and I know my exes are gonna see this. I know my exes see this. The purses, the jewelries, the watches, I know. I'd like my back. Yeah, it was always real. But for me,
How much you spent on
think
your
about
ladies?
It. What do I need it for?
How much you spent on your ladies?
Not much.
You say you want everything back. What you think? How much you think you
Nah,
spent?
not much. Not
Not
much.
much?
Because I was still cheap. Now with this, like I'm 6 Chanel bags in, and it's so early.
You 6 in?
Yeah.
How long y'all been together?
Because for every deal she does and closes, she gets a Chanel as a gift.
Oh wow,
Right? That's good. No? I don't know.
that's amazing. For
to
her?
me, I mean, yeah.
That's great.
Congratulations. You know, motivation to keep going. I think.
Hypothetical, if y'all broke up, would you be the Tom Brady of a relationship? Meaning, would you take the bags back? Because he didn't shake Jared Goff's hand.
Right. No.
Would
no.
you take the bags back
No.
and go your way?
I think we have to understand how Brady feels. Just think about how he feels in its an entirety, just in the season in general. And having to shake hands, he had a bad game. Not just a bad game, he didn't look anything like Tom. Can I say that? I love Tom. Tom, I know you're probably gonna see this. I love you, but I got you. But didn't look anything like himself. Is it the offense maybe? Would it be in his first year in it? I'm not sure what it is. But then obviously losing the game, are you in the mood to really want to fake the shake?
How long does it take y'all to turn it off after the game? You lose, you have a bad game. How long does it take you to turn it off?
After I watch the film, I'm good.
Well,
After I watch the game film on Monday.
so that could be
boom,
that
new
could be
week.
that could be 24 hours almost.
Yeah, basically it is 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I have to calm down before I talk to the media because I'll say the wrong.
So you did that intentionally, calm down.
Yeah, because I say the wrong. Especially when we're losing. Oh,
For me, it took early on in my career. It could take 3 days, 4 days.
real?
Yeah, bro. Like Sunday, game time, boom, and then it would take me 3-4 days if we lose. It'd take, or if I had a bad game, anything went wrong, it could take me 3, 4, 5 days. Like I carried it. I probably carried it longer. And then obviously I talk a lot about mental health. Went to McLean Hospital, three months in an outpatient program. And when I left there, just sitting down trying to figure out how do I manage what comes with just living, just everyday stress. And after that, it was like right after the game, you know,
For me, it was
right
the
after the
opponent.
game, and everybody knew it.
It all depended on who the opponent was. I handle losing differently. Some opponents, it'll carry over, never past Tuesday, which is our day off, because I know Wednesday is the day to recalibrate.
Fresh start.
And you know what I'm saying, and get ready for the next opponent. So I couldn't have that in my head, but depends on the opponent. I still carry my 1999 loss against the Titans. We lost to them 3 times in a year. I carry that to this day. You feel me? So I'm still hot about that. But
So one had to be the playoffs.
anybody else,
One had to be in the playoffs too.
we beat the Dolphins 62-7. I'm gonna note that.
Oh, that's
The
the
next week,
Marino
we
final
lost to-
game.
Next week we lost to the Titans, and I'm still sick about that.
So we talk about how long, or your question, how long do it take for us to get over a loss? And then I think everybody's journey is different. Everybody's approach different. To me, I think about the mental health of our players. I think about the mental health of our teammates. Last week, I saw the saddest thing in my life, probably in my life, man. I'm at Channing's house, and Channing and Asia, they're inside. I'm on Channing's golf cart, chasing the kids. Like, they're on their bikes. And I passed this big house, and we're talking about mansions. We're talking about 1.5, 2 million, up to $6, $7 million homes in this neighborhood. Driving down the street, and I see this big dude come outside. No socks, no shirt. Got pants on, but you can see his butt a little bit. Just off. And I was like, yo, what's up, bro? How you been? Hey, black man. Hey, black man, how you doing? He's a brother. He walks in the house. He got 2 big old pieces of wood. Dump them in the trash can. Trash can falls over. He walks in the house. He don't even pick up the trash. I end up coming back around, knocked on the door. And I said, bro, I figured out who it was. I said, bro, it's me. It's Brandon Marshall. Like, you trained at my facility. Like, it's me. Man, cracked open the door. He had his head peeked. He's 6'5", 350 pounds. Peeked through the door like, I'm sorry, I'm busy. He's in a home right now. There's no furniture. There's no family around. Totally gone. One of the saddest things I've ever seen. Almost like the Delonte West situation. Remember, NBA, Delonte West?
You see it a lot. I think the hardest thing for athletes is when the game is taken away from you. And it's not the game, it's the locker room. It's the interaction with the teammates. It's the relationships that you build. It's the fact that you have a goal that you're striving towards each week. And then when you're done, you're done. Think about it. How successfully do you think a lot of people would be if they were forced to retire at 30 and have to restart their life and find something different and something new? I don't think it's an easy transition for a lot of people.
We spoke about this a few episodes ago, and what I said was the people around you, your support system. Some guys, they love that stage so much, and people pillowcase them by saying how great they are, and that's what they thrive off it, right? And then when it's done, when the lights, when the curtain is closing and the lights are dim, then it's dark. That's what it is, it's dark, and they have nowhere to go.
How was your transition?
People are lost.
How was your transition?
For me, I left Jacksonville, went to New England. I wanted a starting job. I got injured both years I was in New England. I remember seeing myself behind the entire team saying, damn, the curtain's closing. It's not the same. I'm used to performing on a high level. I can't be out there half-assed, and so I'm gonna shut it down. Lucky 13, I'm played 13 years and it's a wrap. I could have played more, but I said, nah, this is it. But also in my head, I'm saying, all right, 87% of the guys are filing bankrupt, divorce, or whatever, within 3 years after being done. I said, I don't want to be one of those guys. So that competitive edge that I normally carry, that's what kicked in. That became my game day, prepare myself for my post-career. Because, that intrigued me. I got excited about it. I had my moment. I retired in 2011 officially. Retired with Jacksonville, September 2nd, 2011. 2017, I started having bouts of anxiety, started being overwhelmed, and I started looking around like, they tell us we're supposed to have CTE. We're supposed to have anxiety. There's a pretty good chance we're gonna be depressed. And when you're hearing all this stuff, it's hard to get it out your brain like anything else. And the brain is the ultimate, the strongest, muscle in your body, right? And it's hard to kind of get away from those things. So I'm like, nah, it ain't gonna be me. But still, I'm fighting anxiety. The doctor wants to medicate me. I'm trying to figure out, how do I get past this? I'm doing yoga, or I'm doing, whatever I need to do to get past this mentally. I got my friend, my support system is still intact, but I'm trying to find a way out of this space. And I can tell you.
Was it scary?
Of course.
Well, I mean,
because you don't know what's happening.
But that's why explain that. What does that mean? A lot of people don't understand.
You're breathing fast, and you feel like, damn, I'm gonna have an asthma attack. Am I gonna have a heart attack? Am I gonna die? You don't know what's going on, and you have to find ways to cope. You gotta get that help. The NFL has so many resources.
They do.
that we can all engage in. But you can probably say it. Chad can probably say it. When we're playing, we're so prideful. You know what I'm saying? Like,
To ask
we
for help.
only look at things that we think is going to help us.
You can't show weakness.
Being a handicap, that's not one thing that we're looking at to help us go forward, right? So when they tell you we got all these resources, you feel like I'm not the guy that's going to need to make that call, whether it's a anonymous call or not. You feel like I don't need that. I got these people. I can handle this. But before it's too late, or when, you find yourself in a situation where you need help. And guys, I think guys really should go get that help that they need.
But it's not just us. I mean, it's a man's mentality, and it really affects all people. So like, yeah, the NFL. I just appreciate you telling that story because man, there's so many people that deal with it. Some don't even know that they're having a panic attack. They don't know. They think they dying, like you said. They think that it's asthma. And then there's some people that know, but maybe too prideful or don't even have a resource to get help.
Chad, I felt like you struggled with
Oh,
getting
you
out the
covered
game.
Chad.
Yeah,
You think so?
because when it ended for you at Miami, obviously,
Yeah.
it was
Ooh.
it was hard,
Yeah.
and you were heartbroken.
Yeah.
And then you tried to keep playing CFL and
Oh no, I went CFL route simply because I needed completion, whether it was at the NFL level or not. I would have went arena because I wanted to finish my way. But the same way I played the game, I did it my way. And if it was going to be CFL, I did that 1 year and I was set. I was good. So what happened with me is we know what happened, and I don't want to relive that. Obviously, too much going on right now. But I got peace sitting in that cell. I was at peace because I already knew, understanding how the game works, and a mistake of that magnitude with this high profile, you ain't seeing the field again anyway. I understood that and I knew that, so I was at peace before it even let me out of there. I knew it was a wrap. Then it was like, okay, I need to finish the game of football, not NFL, the game of football. I need to go out my way, regardless of where it's at. CFL, could be arena. Hell, I would have went and played professional flag football if that's what it needed to be. I needed to feel complete, and that's why I did that.
So you felt like you covered his last year, and you felt like he struggled because we talking about guys struggling when they're no longer playing.
when his career ended abruptly, he was in a resurgent point where his feet looked great. He was dominant receiver out there on the field. There was nobody who could cover him. And then it was just gone. And I felt like he didn't have the ending that he wanted. And so he kept trying to latch on to different routes in the CFL. And there's no shame in going to the CFL. I can understand what you wanted closure.
At all, yeah.
You ain't have a moment, bro, where you was never depressed?
On God. I would sit here and tell you too, especially with the way things are now. You know, I'm very truthful. And I don't give a f***. I tell you, man, I'm f***ed up. But when I found that peace, sitting in that cell with a friend of mine who I still know to this day, he followed me on Twitter. We were sitting there together. And he was asking about football. Are you going to play again? I'm like, and look, Carlos, man, that's a wrap. That's done. But what I am going to do when I get out and let some time die down, I'm going to continue playing football. I don't care where it's at because I'm not going out the way I felt I should have went out. And I don't care where it's at, long as it's football related.
So I played 13 years in the league. And in 2000, my last year, 2018, 2014, I spent 3 months with Harvard doing a case study on the biggest entertainers, biggest athletes that used their platform and did something amazing with it. For me, it was all about mental health. That's my thing, passionate about mental health. And my goal was, one of the things I was like, I'm always gonna say this from this point on, 2014. People walk up to me and they always ask us what you gonna do when you done? And my answer was always, I'm already doing it. So House of Athlete, launching the facility, I was doing that in 2012. Ocho was the first, he was part of the inspiration during the year of the lockout, 2011. I look up one day, I got T.O., Ocho Cinco, Chris Johnson, Darcy Johnson, Mike Sims Walker, all in a little space, one treadmill, one rack, working out during the year of lockout. I said, I'm gonna open up a facility. Launched a nonprofit, FitSpeed. Launched a nonprofit. I say all that to say this. I was doing that for what? 6 years almost? 8 years? Six years? Last year, Seattle, cut. Saints picked me up. I'm sitting in New Orleans on the bench, last cup of tea for a month. After one practice on paper, it was like, oh, we're going to put you up, we're about to play you this week. They put me in the game plan. After a practice, knocked on a wide receiver room. We in there watching film. Hey, Brandon, let me see you real quick. Me and him in the hallway. He looked at me, said, we're going to have to let you go. Just like this. Hey, got right to, hey, Beers, I want to let you know we got to let you go right now. We put in a claim on this kid that just hit the waiver wire. We didn't think we were going to get him. We're picking late. So I'm going to have to let you go. I'm going to try to bring you back next week. Some wide receiver from Washington. I don't even think he's in the league anymore.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say this. It's December, Mishi and the kids, they're still in Seattle. I was just cut by Seattle, just picked up. I only been there for a month. Christmas time, now they're flying in. I still had like a week until they came in town. I had all these plans in place. I've been doing this for so long. And I laid in bed for 4 days. And I had an out-of-body experience. And I sat there in awe because I was like, damn, this is the transition they're talking about. I'm like, it's over. And I'm laying in that bed for 4 days. I didn't get up to eat. I think I had a couple glasses of water and went to the bathroom, laid in the bed, and it was just like, it's over. This is all I've been doing. I've been preparing, and I'm still kind of like just. And Mishi and the kids flew in town for Christmas, and that's why I got out of bed. I truly believe if Mishi and the kids wasn't flying in, I would have laid there for another, 2 weeks.
I think all athletes are gonna have that white light that come to Jesus, like this. I'm in heaven. Like it's this is my moment. It's here now. You know what I'm saying? You have to put yourself in that position. But I think all guys are gonna have that. For some guys, it's abrupt and they can't do anything about it. But you had a illustrious career. You know what I'm saying?
I still wanted more. I wasn't
obviously,
ready.
We all do.
Yep.
That's
all
just
three of
the
y'all
dog in
had
you.
3 times the length of
You know
a
what I'm
regular
saying?
NFL
Correct.
career.
We're talking about 3.5 years, three years, the average lifespan NFL player, right? If you get in the double-digit number of years, what'd you do, 11?
13.
13?
13.
Lucky 13. So, I mean, 4 times the number. I mean, so obviously, being that we were able to compete at high levels, you found yourself sitting in the back of practice saying, damn, you know, I want to go out there, but I want to go out there like I once was.
I never felt like that though.
I always felt like that.
For me,
I
had an ankle injury, surgery on my ankle injury.
But you
snapped my
couldn't get
deltoid.
past that. These
But
are
that
the
was the
little
problem. I
things I'm
couldn't get
talking
past
about.
that. Like in my head, it was once I get healthy, I couldn't move. I said, once I get healthy, I'm going to be able to contribute and play at a high level.
Was that frustrating? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, it was.
Was that frustrating?
Yes.
Same for me.
Yeah.
I went to New England. I won the starting job both years, 2009 and 2010. The only thing that kept me down was the injuries. But what we have to look at is we ain't spring chickens. We're 33,
Take y'all
32,
longer to heal
years
than-
old. It's a whole,
You know why y'all were getting hurt? Because you wasn't eating right. I told you.
Here we go.
Eating McDonald's.
You ain't eating right.
We're gonna run it back.
I ain't had no injuries.
We're gonna run it back.
I had no injuries.
You had no injuries in 11
Nah.
years?
Nope.
But you knocking on wood like you still playing this
amazing.
over.
I'm going back to kick next year. I'm gonna throw that out there next episode. But anyway, go ahead.
He gonna play cornerback too. Watch. He gonna play cornerback.
You got some good questions. So, I mean, it's one, I always appreciated you because you always kept it real. This relationship and the dynamic between player and reporter is just different. So while we have here, what questions would you have for us, as players done playing ball? Because one of the things I always appreciate about having this opportunity being on the show is listen to their perspective.
You still haven't retired. Like, what do you have you let it go?
Bro, hold on.
Have you said to yourself, like, you still waiting on the call? Is that what you're doing?
Wow. So
I'm ready for you to enter the next step of your life. Because
I'm in there.
I know you're here, but I want you all the way in because you're gonna be great at whatever you do.
But I'm doing it though now.
I know you are, but you still waiting for that call to Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm not waiting for no call. So you feel like because I haven't, I don't think I'm going. No, I know I'm not. I'm not going to say, hey, I'm retired. I'm not going to hold a press conference. I'm not going to put on a suit. It's over. It's done. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like you have closure?
No. But the most powerful place we can be is in the present moment. Like,
okay.
I don't, like what I did in the past.
Will you be okay if you never get closure?
It doesn't matter. Like, it's really like I don't even associate with what I did involved. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so focused on the now. And it's people, I may lose some people right now, but I feel like the conversation we had earlier about not caring how people think about you. So I'm in this space right now where I'm trying to evolve and go to a whole nother level. So when I talk about now, if I continue to associate with Brandon Marshall, the football player, like I can talk about it, but like for that to hold me accountable and for me to still be there, like, oh, I'm this big bad wide receiver, I did X, Y, like that's not
who you are.
It's done. It's almost like it's dead to me.
Let me chime in really quick. What I try and tell all of the younger guys, for me, it's about identity. You played ball. You accrued so many fans. You have a Brandon Marshall, the entity, the person. You have a fan base, and you have a great following. You got over 400,000 fans, people following you on your Instagram. I'm not saying all of them are fans. Your haters follow you too. I'm just saying, you got people that look into Brandon Marshall and they want to know what's going on with you. What's your identity? When I track you, 4 years in Denver, 2 years in Miami, 3 years in Chicago, two in with the Jets, 1 with the Giants, and 1 with Seattle. I always tell my young guys, find a team. If you play with multiple teams, find a team, retire with that team.
Yeah.
What comes along? The fan base. The fans appreciate that. I went back to Jacksonville because that's why I earned my dough, and that's why I created my legacy. I played 11 years in Jacksonville, 2 years in New England. If I had won a Super Bowl with New England, I wasn't gonna retire a Patriot. That's a disservice to my people in Duval, you know what I'm saying? So I went back and retired a Jaguar. Now my legacy and my identity is Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? D Wade. That one stop in Chicago, that was a pit stop. He went back home, showed love.
Cleveland.
But he's a Miami Heat. That's his legacy. Your best numbers overall are in Denver. Although you were all pro in Chicago, people will identify with the wild child that was in Denver. You know, I mean, that's what I identify with.
There's so many different evolutions of Brandon.
It's a ton of them.
The Denver.
I like the Dolphin Brandon Marshall with the white strips on the back of the arm. And I tried to do it in the game. No tape, just gloves, stiff arm.
It doesn't mean he can't go to the alumni gathering. It doesn't mean that.
Remember those things we used to wear? I tried to do that
Yeah.
for no reason. I didn't even know what you were doing it for, but I just put it on.
It was for my tattoos, to protect my tattoos.
Oh, for real? Let me throw a hypothetical at you. If you had to retire and choose a team that would identify you as, it would be out, it would precede you as who you were as an NFL player, who would that team be?
Denver.
I think that if you, 2 more years in Chicago, you potentially or possibly could have gone down as the best receiver in Chicago Bears history. You was a dog, man.
He was all right.
Pick a team and retire.
That's over. I mean, I had an opportunity that 2 years ago.
Why not?
It's just my mentality.
Why is that?
But Chicago,
you're a receiver.
the Denver
Is that- why is that your
Broncos, because they
mentality?
drafted me, gave me the opportunity. I wish I had a better relationship with the Denver Broncos, but it's so long ago. But I would say the Denver Broncos.
Really?
Good. Yeah, the Denver Broncos.
Told you. See?
And
Him and Jay Cutler.
forced his way out of Denver.
Remember you punting the ball in Denver?
That
was
Philbin kicked him out of Miami.
For real?
Hey,
Yeah, he didn't want to coach.
What happened?
He couldn't have coached. You know what? I listened to a Devon Best podcast this recently. He was talking about
Where's
Brandon.
Devon at, man?
He's in Arizona. He's doing great. He's doing great. He's handling his mental health, and I'm so proud of him. And he said the thing about Brandon was Brandon would say things that everybody else was thinking,
Like T.O.?
but nobody would dare to say.
Like T.O. basically.
That statement right there is what made me go seek help. Ricky Williams was on that team.
Yeah.
So it really,
played with
all
Ricky?
this, huh?
You play with Ricky?
All this really happened in year one. Year two, I didn't even talk.
Wait, what year
Year
was
two, I
this?
didn't even talk. They thought I was on medicine. I would be so zen and so zoned out and just focused. I'll be sitting there concentrating, and I call it gazing. It's this practice called gazing. And people just think I was the weirdest person. Never talk year two. Year one, outside of one incident with Vontae. Year one is where everything happened. And I remember just like being so frustrated and struggling on and off the field. I walked up to Ricky Williams one day. Now, Ricky, this is a dude that walked away from millions and went to what, Australia and lived in a tent?
Yeah.
My first day, like landing in Miami, signing my contract, he just premiered Run Ricky Run. So I walk in there and I'm seeing this dude go from living in a tent to now being this one of the most amazing guys I've been around, right? And that continued throughout that first year and the 2 years I was in Miami. In that film, he's talking to this doctor at McLean Hospital. And I just remember, dang, that's the doctor that the NFL sent me to when I was playing for the Denver Broncos. And they sent me to Boston, Massachusetts for 1 day just to do an evaluation. He just talked to me and then went right back to Denver. So fast forward throughout the end of the year, I go up to Ricky one day because I'm struggling with Devon said. I said, Ricky, I said, you think I'm bipolar? Yeah, for real. I was like, you think I'm bipolar? I'm going to Ricky because it's the first time I'm ever associating somebody with mental health. I just watched this Run Ricky Run. And he said, no, Brandon, I don't think you're bipolar. I just think you say the things that we all want to say but shouldn't say.
Say that again.
That's how he sounds, bro. He sounds like Michael Jackson, bro.
For real?
Yeah.
You talk low like that?
Yeah, that's how he talk.
Yeah.
That's how
man.
Ricky talk.
You off, bro.
No, but so I say that story because it's interesting. I know it was long-winded, but that.
One of the things I always learn about dealing with athletes, especially athletes of your caliber level, it don't matter what y'all doing. Y'all could be playing Uno. You're going to do it competitively.
Yeah, because I don't want to pay for that meal.
But you want to win. You could be playing dominoes. There's a different level of competitiveness with athletes that most humans don't have. There's a different level of goal striving and achieving that athletes, and the thing is, too many of them can't shift that from athleticism to the second stage of life. Like, nobody lived better than Chad because Chad lives life to maximize every damn minute, moment, second. And that's his goal. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
And he's like, Chad is having fun today, every single day. And that's where he is. And he finds other routes, like he say, a mule for the cartel. I give you praise because whatever you want to achieve, you put your mind towards it and you go to it. And it doesn't matter what you want to do. Not a lot of people have that. Not a lot of people can do that. Now, you got a lot of resources, but it don't matter what the goal is.
Yeah.
You can figure out a way to get there and you'll get there.
Well, it goes back to what you're saying, and that's like the things that made us great in sports. We should take those same attributes, assets.
I want that. I want what Brandon got. Like what you just said at the end.
What?
The resources. He got I got the resources, but he got a foundation. Like, me too.
Yeah.
Like, I need that.
Yeah.
Like, I yearn for that.
Yeah. Well,
Pray from here to here to here to here. They're here, they're having fun. That's my problem. I need to stop having so much fun. Like I want what he got.
Well, no,
You feel
let's
me?
slow down.
Wait, no, we're not recording. This is
No.
that's a whole other show.
No, we
I'm
can.
just
They
talking-
recording now.
Wait,
They
we
going.
are? No, but I'm just talking normally.
No,
Like,
they recording.
No, what I'm saying to
No,
you is
chop,
like
chop.
you say you want what I got.
Yeah.
But no,
Like
like,
that
I think no,
like-
I think
Like I want what you got.
no, but we got to be careful
What?
because the reality is right. Like I'm still evolving as a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So am I.
But I've been so to your point, what you just talked about, so like goal oriented and driven to do this one thing, and I haven't in my career. I could have done so much more, as far as in my marriage, in my relationship, and now all I did is took that same energy and put it into business, and I'm not trying to do another 10 years like that. So I'm saying, for me. No, it ain't always sweet, right? Like
It
let's
ain't.
be-
I know that.
yeah, but it's a fight, man. Like marriage is a fight.
It
you know what I
absolutely,
mean? And
no question about it.
it's always work you got to do, and you always got to evolve.
And the thing is, as we grow, I learned this from my first failed marriage. As we age and we grow, the person that I am at 30 is completely different than the person that I am at 40. And the same thing with my first, and the same thing with now my second marriage. You have to grow together and you have to evolve together, but you have to want to fight for each other. And sometimes it's not worth it to fight for that person. You got to find that right person to fight for. Like, I knew I was ready because I couldn't see my life without that person.
individual, right?
yeah.
And because they make my life better. Now, it's not easy because
You
every
know,
day-
well, so you know he wifed up now. So you know how he knew when it was time? When he put down the video games for her. That's what he said.
What?
Yeah, we had this conversation. It was a big conversation about marriage. Oh, you would have crushed that conversation. That's when he knew she was the one.
I don't answer for my own kids. Like gaming means that much. Gaming pays my bills. Like that covers my overhead. Like that's how important that is. And for me to pause when there really is no damn pausing because it's online. I'm streaming and I'm stopping
streaming.
and I got thousands of people watching.
That's
and
the new arena.
Yeah, man,
That's the new arena in
That
terms
shit-
of gaming. Like, yeah, you can make millions of dollars
Yeah.
being a gamer.
I know.
And hey,
I know.
I like it.
Just sitting here thinking, as athletes, we tend to, we underestimate the power of our influence, but we always overestimate how much time we have, right? We need to learn to take advantage of the things we can now in the moment. That's our influence as athletes. And the time that we overestimate, we have no control of that. At the end of the day, we have no control of that, but we're not always in the moment. So I think every young guy should, and us too, we have to be in the moment. We have to enjoy the moment and take advantage of what we can take advantage of right now. Yet we're still visualizing and building, but we have to be able to take advantage of what we can right now, because time is not on any of our
It's
side.
not always
Just
about
looking at
what's
2020,
next.
right? It's not always about what's next. You want to plan, as they say. If you fail to
See,
plan,
but that's why I
if you
commented
plan
the way
to
I
fail,
did. Because like for 10 years it was, here's the vision, this is what I'm going after, and then now shifting to the second career business.
It's an easier transition. I should have said.
Yeah, but-
I should have interjected then
Yeah.
with what you were saying then, because not all guys are going to look at it that way, because they're overestimating. They think we can play this game forever.
Yeah.
Think we're going to get paid forever, and they don't plan. They're out there spending $2-3 million a year doing the same old dumb shit that they were doing when the checks were good. It's not going to always be that way. When you was in the spotlight and it was time for you to make that transition, you was like, wow, I'm here now. You didn't flinch, but you was like, damn, you had a
Yeah,
come
yeah,
to
yeah.
Jesus moment, like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, it's real.
Yeah.
But you were prepping.
Yeah.
Fred, you went out when your body said, I can't be great anymore.
That my head said it before my body said it, because I felt like I still could go, I was training with Frank Gore. You know, I was training with Maurice Jones. These are the top dogs at that time, but I knew Forte, you know, I knew that if I went to train, I wasn't shutting it down. So for that whole, the collective bargaining negotiation off season, I said, man, I ain't going, I'm eating Twinkies, I'm eating ice cream.
There you go.
I'm trying to stay away from the facility. I ain't going to train. Because if I do, I know what's gonna happen. I'm going back for year 14. So really, it was my head forcing me out. My body, I'm like, you know what? I done been through this before. You know, they call me Fragile Fred, but I played 13 years, ain't fragile about me. So
I ain't never heard Fragile Fred, by the way.
No, that started in Jacksonville bad.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I was homegrown. But I prove otherwise. The average, we just said the average lifespan was what, 3.5? I played 13. I ain't fragile about me. I got it in.
And Chad, you need a closure.
That's it. Everything else was good. I ain't spend no money while I was playing.
But what he just said, something interesting. My mind went before my body. My first year in New York, that was probably my best year ever.
New York?
10-6 season.
Yeah, I balled, bro. Yeah, like year 10 or whatever. Like, I used to cry before games because I couldn't understand, like, why am I still doing this? And I would go out there and have 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. That passion wasn't there. Like, I couldn't understand it. Like, this is the first time I feel like, here's the ball. I used to cry, man. And then I still played 3 more years. You know, my mind went before my body, and I still found a way.
Your mind was focused on this. I'm sipping. You tasted this? What that is? This tastes like the water that you at the spa.
Oh,
He got the glass, the eco-friendly glass.
I put it in champagne.
I'm dead ass serious, bro.
Jesus tears.
Hey, listen, man. You put some rose in here or something?
Boy, what the hell you locked this with? What?
Yeah. There's a hint of like
Everything
rose
premium.
Nah.
Everything premium.
Reverse osmosis.
It's
Not for real.
alkaline?
Everything premium, baby. Osmosis.
It's fancy, but not for real though. This ain't for the show.
Yeah.
What the is in here?
We had to fight to get a meal. Yeah, wrongfully accused. We had to fight to get a pills. That's why we right to get a deal. He on the team, he gotta eat, you know. Despite the skills, keep it riding for the fam. You gotta light the wheels straight up. Look in the past bad, work up in the trash bag. I'll pass a lot to take the test before I pass class. Yeah, and my family needed bread. I had to come correct. That's why I keep